Mario Sunshine is a bizarre entry in the Super Mario franchise. It's the sequel to the beloved Mario 64, but only on their second attempt they're already throwing game-changing gimmicks at you. At least wait to Game 3 like Sonic did, because obviously Sonic should be the role model here. I've always heard that Mario Sunshine is the worst 3D Mario. Not necessarily a bad one, just a worse one. However, I'll be the judge of that, and if nothing else, at least I can remind you to stay hydrated. So immediately, this game is going to be compared to Mario 64 a lot, and at first glance, it appears to be winning the competition. The game looks gorgeous, and we're finally getting to that point in gaming where you don't have to fill in the gaps with your imagination. Mario sure does look like Mario. However, the real change here is with the gameplay. This time, Mario is joined by his companion, Flood, the, water gun. He adds a lot to Mario's moveset and changes the way you even think about platforming. Platforms can't be too high or too far, since with the right parts, Flood can go pretty much anywhere. It feels so freeing just to go wherever you want, and it's a lot of fun to mess around with. In fact, when I first started, I was a bit annoyed that the long jump was gone, which was one of the most fun things to do in Mario 64. It just made getting around so much more fun, and thus it was irritating when it was gone. However, then I found what replaced it. You can span, dive, and jump over and over again to go really fast, and it's a lot of fun. This can also be combined with the Flood to be even better by shooting water before diving, making you slide super fast, and it's a ton of fun. Flood starts off with two parts, the regular water gun and the jetpack. The jetpack allows you to hover for a few seconds, and it's probably more useful than a water gun. This is what helps you with platforming, and it makes the jumps a lot easier. It also helps you attack downwards, which is usually faster, does more damage, and is more fun than the regular attack. Using Flood for both movement and attacking is genius. This is why we love Nintendo. They know how to make a good game. But with these two nozzles, Mario sets off to clean Isle Delfino and restore the power. Their island runs off shines, not stars, shines, which are totally different.
Okay, sir. Test, do you know a robot? That's all like that. You wanna do it?
No! Great. Similarly to me, Mario is also arrested. You see, when he arrives, he's met by the police and is under arrest for graffitiing the whole town, and is tasked with cleaning it all up in order to serve his sentence. In reality, he didn't commit any crimes, but instead was framed by Black Mario, because Black Mario is the one who actually does all the crime on the island. Nintendo, how could you spread such racist stereotypes? Anyways, now with a reason to explore and a new mechanic to use in the adventure, we're ready to go. We're dropped into the hub world and, oh, there he is, racist stereotype man. Shadow Mario. He's the main antagonist here, and your main goal is to find him in each level and murder him. Or just shoot him with water until he gives up. I don't think they can kill anyone. Except witches.
Oh, it's raining! It's raining! I have to go change my clothes.
The levels have a similar structure to Mario 64, having multiple portals around the hub, each one leading to their own level. Each level also has a series of different shines, which occasionally change the level structure and allow you to get to new places and find new things. It's a fun style and can work when done right, but, and that's a big but, Mario Sunshine doesn't do it right. Mario 64 was built on the principle of exploration, where, yeah, you can do the stars in the order they're presented, or you could stray off the path and find other stars. Get the red coins, go to the floating island, set the chain jump free. Here though, no. Each shine has to be gotten in the order it's given to you, or at least I couldn't find a way to work around it. Even the red coins, which were originally a perfect mechanic in 64, having you explore and find them whenever you wanted, now they're attached to a button, and usually a timer, which only appears when you get to the red coin shine. It's like they forgot the entire reason these existed in the first place. Like, how could you take something meant for a very specific purpose, that being to hide it from people, and then put it right in front of their faces? Like, what? Oh. Mario was initially designed to have straightforward platforming, but 64 had more open designs. This made the basic platforming worse since it was less focused, but it had the benefit of allowing you to explore and find new things, which, in my opinion, is a good trade-off. Sunshine tries to... well, it takes the worst of both worlds. It has the worst platforming challenges from the open worlds, but also the linearity from the straightforward stages. It's just a bizarre design choice. I mean, it can still be enjoyable, but I'm just confused why they did this in the first place. Nintendo appeared to just want linear levels, and they were moving in that direction since this game. People thought Galaxy 2 and 3D World were the shifting point, but no, they've been shifting since Sunshine. Shifting since Sunshine. That is a tongue twister. In fact, Sunshine even has basic linear platforming stages, and these are actually pretty good. They aren't open at all and lean into the linearity, which is a thing in its favor. They have Flood taken away from you, and because of that, they can be pretty difficult. Extremely difficult in some instances. I cannot speak today. But they're fun little additions, and I'm glad that dying starts you back over in that section, not the whole level, which could have made it a lot more annoying. I mean, the game still has lives, which means that if you die too much, you do end up starting the entire level over, which is super annoying. I mean, I've talked about how much I hated lives for many videos at this point. But let's just move past that, because this is Mario's next big game on next kinda gen hardware. It may be worse than 64, but 64 had some amazing levels, so worse than that is still great, right? The first level you play is called Bianco Hills. Bianco? I don't know how to pronounce that. And it's kind of the stage you'd expect to be the first level. It has a linear path to the end, but also an entire village to the side that you can explore and find secrets in. The game had the smart idea to add blue coins, which is essentially 1/10 of a shine. This allows them to be hidden everywhere, allowing you to find stuff everywhere you go without inflating the total shine amount. This means that even though you don't have any shines to get in the village yet, you can still find coins, which is a lot of fun. Not as fun, and not a fix to make it as good as 64, but it's a step in the right direction. It makes sure you're always finding stuff, which keeps you having fun. I just said fun way too many times. I mean, it does ask you to save after every blue coin, which gets old fast. I mean, even if you say no, the waste of time from it asking you is still annoying. No, I don't have a watch. Okay, there you go. I just wanted you to know how annoying it was. Just autosave in the background. It can't be that difficult. The other shines in the stage add on to the level structure, having a mountain appear exiting the path, or having you ignore the path altogether and go somewhere else. That could be annoying if you don't know where to go, but each level starts off with some cinematic camera angles showing where you need to go, so you always know what to do. This first level also has one of my favorite characters. Weird Gooby Piranhas. No. Petey Piranha. No idea why I like him so much, he just looks cool. He's not even in that many games, though he is in this one, and he's a decent first boss. I don't count that one. Or that one. Or that one. Why do you fight him so much? As a whole, it's a pretty good first level for the game. But okay, we've got a few shines now, and we've unlocked a few new levels, none of which are perfect. Rico Harbor has scaffolding, which is a lot of fun to run around once you're good at it, but it can be a bit too challenging for the second stage. Gelato Beach has a big tower and a hill and an annoying, I don't know, bird thing. Piana Park is a park with all sorts of different attractions. Serena Beach has a haunted hotel. Noki Bay has a ton of water, which is very annoying. And Pianta Village, well, we'll come back to that one. We're just gonna put a pin in that. Each stage has the same tropical island aesthetic, which I'm not sure if I like. On one hand, I like that the game has a single theme and all the stages take place on one island, meaning you can see the stages from other stages. It makes it feel like a real place, which you don't get often in Mario games, and I like it. But on the other hand, I hate that the theme can get a bit old. We don't get a desert, ice mountain, ship harbor, giant small land. No, now we have sandy town, grassy town, metal watery dock, grassy, watery place. There are some unique places like the park, and others can have interesting structures, but they all have the same color palette. There's also far less levels here, which is an even bigger disappointment. I like the mechanics and some of the ideas, but it's just so hard being a fan of this game because Mario 64 did so many things so much better. There are still many shines I like though, like Piana Park has a cool final boss against a robot Bowser where you ride around on a roller coaster shooting it with rockets. Serena Beach has a stingray swim, I don't know, under the beach. I didn't know they could do that. But it's another interesting idea. We have to break it up and kill it. Serena Beach has another shine that requires you to clean up the ink off the beach, which was actually the only thing Mario was told to do by the police, so we're finally actually fulfilling our sentence. I also really like the Gooper Blooper boss fight, which you fight multiple times. The main strategy is to pull each and every tentacle off and then slam his face. But if you time it right, you can slam his face without pulling off any of the tentacles, which is just a cool shortcut. Gelato Bay also has a shine where you ride on a sandbird, which is a really cool idea. Wish I could ride on one. However, with every good shine, there are many bad ones. Serena Beach has a hotel, which, as I've already stated, is haunted, and some of the shines inside, well, they give me nightmares. From how annoying they are, you have to jump through the floor in the bathroom. Through the floor! How am I supposed to think of that? I mean, I did, but it's not the point. Rico Harbor and Noki Bay have a lot of water, and they're just annoying to swim in as it was in 64. I mean, you don't need to go underwater now, which is nice, but still not great. Piana Park has you platform up a wall, and falling down has you start over, and it's irritating. Serena Beach has a boss fight inside the hotel too, and this time it's against King Boo. What? Sure, King Boo. Anyways, his boss fight is fairly annoying to figure out, since water does nothing, food does nothing, and even the pepper that appears to be doing something actually does nothing even though you're told that it does. Instead, you're supposed to throw a pepper in his mouth and then some other kind of food, and it's not obvious. After you figure out, then you're just left there waiting for him to give you a pepper, and it's not great. One of the more infamous shines is inside the pachinko machine, which it just sucks. I'd always heard that it sucked and assumed that maybe it was over-exaggerated, but in reality, No, it sucks worse than I ever imagined. You just can't go left and right sometimes due to invisible walls that just appear and disappear at seemingly random. And you have to get perfectly exactly where you need to 6 times. It sucks. Also, remember how I couldn't get shines out of order? Well, I tried. In Noki Bay, I had to get a shine from inside of a cave, but I couldn't enter the hole that I saw, so I decided to ignore it for now and just go somewhere else. I did some platforming and got all the way to the top of the mountain and then fought a boss. Once I defeated it, I assumed I would get a new shine for it, successfully getting them out of order. Instead, it revealed a hole straight down into the cave right into the very next shine. Fantastic. However, the worst offender of the entire game is Pianta Village. Oh, nope, not yet. The game has some annoying shines, but unlike 64, you can't choose not to get one since you'd need nearly all of them. 64 had 120 shines, no, stars, and you only needed to get 70 of them, so you could choose to get any 70 and ignore the rest. Sunshine also has 120 shines, and you only need 50 to beat them. That sounds better since you can just choose 50 and do even less. However, those 50 aren't any 50 shines. They're instead 50 specific shines you need to get, meaning the rest of the shines are pointless. And the shines you need to get, you have to get in a specific order because you can't get a stage's later shines till you get their earlier shines. This means you have far less freedom to do what you want, which makes it even more annoying. The reason you need 50 shines is because you need to find Shadow Mario in each stage, meaning you have to unlock the Shadow Mario shine, meaning you have to beat all the previous shines. After you find him in every stage, okay, and that can wait till the end. The game can be boring, having the same aesthetic, bad shines, and some irritating side stuff. But the game does try and make some changes to stir things up. I found these bloopers you could ride, which I found a lot of fun, specifically in the obstacle course, but they barely show up. We also get more nozzles, but they aren't as good. There's the jet nozzle, which blasts you upward, and I barely used it. It's useful on occasion to get around and to get some collectibles. I never wanted it, since it was usually more annoying than the hover. There's also the, turbo nozzle, which is by far my least favorite since I didn't use it much at all, though it can be fun to run around the hub, but I didn't do that much. However, the coolest addition is Yoshi. He was a great power-up in Mario World, and he didn't really show up in 64. But he's back, baby, and he sucks. Originally, he added on to Mario's moveset with many improvements, but here, while riding him, you lose the ability to use Flood, which is a huge downgrade. Parkour is much harder since you don't have hover, making the sole act of actually playing the game more irritating. I never used Yoshi except when I was explicitly required to, since it was just not fun. He's also orange here instead of green. Wonder why they changed that. Yoshi also has some new moves here, like being able to turn enemies into platforms with his spit, somehow. Is that a thing that dinosaurs can do? Yoshi also has one of my least favorite shines. Rico Harbor's last shine requires you to get a Yoshi, but to open the egg, you have to feed him fruit, so where's the fruit? 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 Take the fruit! The only fruit that I could find was one hidden in a tree in the corner, so I brought it to Yoshi, and it wasn't even right. Oh, why? The solution to this puzzle is to randomly ground pound this machine that spits out fruit for some reason, and that's it. It just gives you the fruit. Why? If that's the solution, hint towards it. Put the word fruit on it, or show it in the opening cinematic. Oh. Well, make it more obvious. I mean, why even have a fruit tree in the corner at all? It's irritating. But even once you have Yoshi, it's still not done. Now I have to ride these blocks over to some scaffolding and try to figure out a way to jump to the top with Yoshi. And to remind you, Yoshi makes platforming worse. It's not easy, and to add insult to injury, Yoshi dies in water for some reason, and thus you have to repeatedly hit the machine again and again to get the right fruit to get a new Yoshi every single time you fall. I hate this shine. However, I still haven't even talked about Pianta Village. Okay. So after you find Shadow Mario in each stage... Oh, wait, sorry, wrong pen. Pianta Village starts off fine, with a shine about you throwing chain chops in a lake, and another about you raising a guy. However, the third one is where it just all falls apart. This shine starts with you losing Flood, and the entire town becomes covered in lava, ink, something. Now you need to find a way back to Flood, and I think it's a cool idea. And once you get Flood back, actually being able to start getting rid of all the ink stuff is really satisfying. It's just that getting Flood isn't exactly easy. I found out that you can get under this bridge and then throw water up here somehow, but I don't know how that helped. I tried going under the stage and was an idiot, so I thought, why not try and cross over the side and see what I can do from over there? So I tried walking over the railing, and... I died. If you fall off, you basically can't control Mario, and he just goes backwards, I think. I'm not sure, but you just can't save him. I tried over and 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 over, and he just kept burning his donkey everywhere. If you want to burn, I'll help you. The annoyance with the stage doesn't even end there. Oh no, no it doesn't. Another has you get Yoshi, which you all know I just love, and then jump down and platform with Yoshi. And once you get to the end, you get this floodless challenge where Piantas just throw you. However, they don't throw you in a specific direction. No, they throw you backwards. That could be fine, except for the fact that they turn to face Mario, so backwards relies on where Mario is standing when he talks to them, making there be a very big chance you'll be thrown off the map, and you'll need to do this over and over again. And if you die too much, you'll have to start over, and then run and get fruit, slowly bring it back to Yoshi, and then try and platform down, and then probably die because Yoshi sucks. And then start over again, and again and again. I hate this level. And remember, I do have to do this to beat the game. I can't go find a different shrine since I need this to beat the game. I hate it. Speaking of beating the game. Okay, now we do this one. Once you manage to find Shadow Mario in each stage, you're finally led to the end. The end is fine. It's one final gauntlet that's not too hard or long. I've always heard this boat ride was super annoying, and it probably was. It breaks if you hit one thing, but I played it super slowly since I didn't want to die and start over since I had just beaten Pianta Village and I really didn't want to be annoyed anymore. So I just slowly went down and beat it my first try. After that though, it's kind of just right into the boss fight. The boss fight is Bowser and Bowser Jr., who is a character that I haven't mentioned yet. He's just Bowser's son who tries to help him kidnap Princess Peach. Guess the Koopalings weren't good enough to do that, huh? He was also the one pretending to be Mario throughout the game, which was cool. I like Bowser Jr., but again, okay, I think I might be fitting a few too many things. The final boss fight is fine. Bowser, Bowser Jr., and Peach are all in an acid hot tub, I think. And Mario has to ground pound all the sides to break it, and it's not that hard. You have to dodge both Bowser's fire and Jr.'s missiles, but it's not too long or hard or that interesting. But then it ends, and so does Mario Sunshine. No, we do get one last cutscene where Flood dies! That's such a bizarre twist. It doesn't even lead to anything, nor does it have any reason. It just kind of happens. Then it just comes back, and it's fine. Yeah, I don't know what all that was about. But with that, Mario Sunshine ends, and I have no idea what even to think about it. I love many of the levels, and I loved Flood as a mechanic, but I feel like a lot of the game is just poorly designed, which is sad because the game tries so hard. It had tons of cutscenes and was fully voice acted, which we don't usually get to see from Mario. They really help show off a lot of the characters, especially Junior.
I wanna fight that Mario again.
Never mind. I love Bowser Jr. as a character since he turns Bowser into a dad, which just adds more layers onto him and makes it so he's not just the bad guy. Seeing him talk to Jr. at the end is just really heartwarming and makes me wish that we had more stories with Bowser and Jr. But I mean, at least we got this, and it makes me just want to like the game even more. You can also get Mario to wear sunglasses, which doesn't do anything but make the game a bit darker. And I love it. Man, I just want to love this game, and I do love it, but it's just very hard to. Like, I've been comparing it a lot to 64 this whole time, and I'm not even sure which one I like more. I know it sounds obvious since I've been saying that 64 was great this whole time, but I mean, it's not perfect either. 64 had some amazing levels and some fun open design, but it also had some cramped, terrible design. Sunshine has amazing movement and a great aesthetic, but also some annoying levels, and Yoshi. So I think both games are good, though I think 64 is probably the better design experience. But even still, Sunshine still reminds us to stay hydrated. Oh shoot. So, I hope you like this. This should be the first video you see, or of mine that you see in this style with the green screen suit and stuff. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. I had some jokes that I cut. Like, one point I wanted to, like, wear short sleeves, but I just couldn't find a way to do short sleeves in the suit, so I cut it. Also, while filming this, I want to have, like, a scene where I go to the beach, but the beach is, like, a few hours from my house, and I don't know if I want to commit that hard to a bit, so you'll know if I did. If there's a shot of me at the beach, you'll know I did. If there isn't, then there should have been. Goodbye.